What's your experience with history?
I only studied history at compulsory education, so up to year 9. After that, didn't really have an interest, so...
The introductory video, was it an effective introduction for you?
It gave you a lot of information, although I don't have a very long attention span, so yeah. It was quite long, and it just seemed to be fact after fact, and so I didn't absorb that much from it. They seem to sort of jump from one thing to another. I think they could have done with having a more brief overview at the beginning and then videos throughout, maybe, looking around, because there was a lot in that video and it all seemed to be merged into one thing.
Did you find the audio guides an effective means of communicating the information?
The audio guides, yes, they were useful, but I didn't really know what they were going to be talking about. I think I'd prefer, rather than an audio guide, if there's sort of something you've got to read and then an option to listen to something else about that as well, right next to it maybe. And then you can also pick what you actually want to hear about, rather than just listen to long drivel.
I take it from that a lot of it wasn't quite as interesting to you personally as it could have been to someone else.
Yeah. Like, okay, they talked a lot about the architecture of the building as well, and that would have interested me, but maybe I need something visual to go with it, as well as just looking at the actual building. Maybe like pictures that have been drawn of it during the time of building and things like that. Have been interesting.
Based on your knowledge of history, we know that you actually haven't studied this period before. Do you feel that it gave enough background information?
I think they kind of assume that you know a lot about the era to start with, which really I didn't. It could have done with maybe setting down who the people mentioned actually were, because I don't know. Also, yeah, what the era was like and why they had the Banqueting House. They did talk a lot about, obviously, what it was for and that, but nothing around or extra to that, really.
Would there have been a good way of presenting that?
They could have just put together a small sort of experience thing. You could read about it or watch a video on it or something. It could have been, yeah, separate to the actual room. Like, when the introduction video was shown downstairs, there was a whole room they could have used to talk about the era before and why, yeah, what it was like then.